What up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas.
And I'm T-Bone.
And we're coming at you with another video today where we're going to be doing our Week 16 Power Rankings. This is where we discuss who we think the top 10 teams in the NFL are headed into Week 16. Starting off at number 10, we've got ourselves the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins coming off a pretty comfortable 30-0 win over a very bad Jets team. Not a big surprise there. The Dolphins, a team that are very good at beating up on bad teams, but we haven't really seen them have that marquee performance against a good team. So while they're winning a lot of football games, they've earned the right to be on this list, but we've still got a lot of questions about them. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Completely agree. And I mean, I can't wait for the Dolphins-Cowboys game. I'm going to be really excited about it. But you're exactly right. We haven't seen that game, that marquee game yet. But I mean, they're still performing these wins, and Tyreek is still an MVP frontrunner. So that's why they're here.
Absolutely. Alrighty, coming in at number 9, we've got ourselves the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs coming off of a 27-17 win over the New England Patriots, a game that was a lot closer than it sounds, and the referees definitely helped them pull away in the second half. Had a couple of bad calls and several missed calls that really affected the game, but the Chiefs are a team who remain unconvincing but do win the games that they should most of the time, and they still have Mahomes, Reed, Jones, Kelsey, and despite their struggles, they're still a very well coached team. So they deserve to be on this list. T-Bone, your thoughts?
I mean, I completely agree. It's they do deserve to be on this list, but they've just been kind of shaky. I mean, that game against the Patriots with how much help was needed, just think about it. So that's why they've shot down to here. I mean, they're still good, but they've had some questions.
Yeah, I mean, again, just who they have, even with struggles, they're a team that can make noise. So they do worry me because I don't want them to win. No, only the Patriots are allowed to have dynasties. No one else. I also just don't want to have to listen to Mahomes fans meet right on stuff, so it's not fun. Alrighty, coming in at number 8, we've got ourselves the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles coming off of a late loss to the Seattle Seahawks, which I think they'll feel a bit slighted by the officiating in that game, but still not their best performance, and they are on a bit of a slump, I guess you could say. 3 consecutive losses after such a strong start to the season, and so they really need to try to pick themselves up. But regardless of that, they're still a well-built squad. Obviously, they're in a bit of a slump, and there's questions about could they even beat the teams, below them. They beat the Chiefs earlier this year and the Dolphins, so they do sit at number 8, but they do have some questions about themselves that need to be answered right now. Questions that weren't necessarily asked a few weeks ago. T-Bone, your thoughts?
3 straight losses is just something that you'd have to question. I mean, sure, they're great against great teams, but still, 3 straight losses, and they still have a well put together team. But it's just you can't just go on a 3-game losing streak and not expect to just drop a little bit. So that's why they're here.
And to be fair, San Francisco went on a 3-game losing streak, but they also picked themselves up and turned it around and are now pretty definitively the best and most consistent team in the NFL. So it shows
and San Fran's on a 6-game. Yeah, they're on a 6-game winning streak now.
Yeah, I mean, Eagles will have an opportunity to show, hey, this is just a slump. We still got it just like San Fran did, but not the time of year that you want to be going on the slump, that's for sure. Alrighty, coming in at number 7, we've got ourselves the Denver Broncos. The Broncos face a bit of a humbling against the Detroit Lions. I personally think they just kind of ran into the Lions the wrong week of the year, and they ran into them last week, they would have beaten them. And it just comes down to the Lions were on a bit of a slump and needed a game to get out of it, and they found it against Denver. Denver, regardless of that, still a good team that's been playing well. The big concern about them not making the playoffs will come from the rough start to the season that they had before they really figured everything out as a team and weeded out all the problems. But now that they have weeded out all the problems, regardless of what happened this week, they're still a very good team. There's a lot of very good teams on this list who have gotten murdered by other good teams. That's just the case. T-Bone, your thoughts?
I mean, I completely agree. I mean, I couldn't agree more. It's just, sure they lost and they didn't look great, but still, they've been performing a great show for the past, has it been 5, 6, 7 games? They're just really performing well, and despite that loss, I still think they are very competitive and one of the more competitive teams and can still make a playoff push. So that's why they're here.
Yeah. I mean, definitely with them losing the Chiefs winning this week, the division seems a little further away, but I wouldn't necessarily count them out of that race just yet. But they do gotta really get it going these final 3 games if they want a good shot at this. Alrighty, coming in at number 6, we've got ourselves the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys knocked back down to earth by the Buffalo Bills. Cowboys have kind of fluctuated this year. They'll go up on a high and then get browbeaten back down to earth. They'll go up on a high, they'll get browbeaten back down to earth. Happened against San Fran, happened here against Buffalo this week. But regardless of that, they're still a good team who's won a lot of games and can beat a lot of good teams. Obviously, questions about can they beat the best of the best. You saw what happened this week against Buffalo. You saw what happened against San Francisco. But regardless of all of that, they're still a very, very good football team. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, that loss was something else to look at. But, I mean, they're still a great team. They're still a very, very put-together team. So I think that despite that loss, they're still one of the better teams. And they're in the race for the NFC, which seems to be going to the Niners. But still, they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, again, lots of talent. And that alone will take you far. Obviously, coaching concerns, we've talked about it before, but, they're still a good football team that is capable of doing great things. Alrighty, coming in at number 5, we've got ourselves the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams coming off of a win over the Washington Commanders in which they looked good for a good part of the game. Washington kind of made a little comeback late there. The game was not as close as the score would indicate, but the Rams still performing well. They've turned their season around in a big way in these last few weeks, and they are in a prime position to make the playoffs, especially now that they're all healthy. Matthew Stafford and co have been balling. T-Bone, your thoughts?
I mean, can't say much more. I mean, really, I completely agree. They're healthy. They're starting to get on a roll, and it's just they're primed. They're primed to get a second spot in the NFC West. And they're getting ready. They're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team. I don't think they can win the division just because San Fran, but they're a team I think can beat a lot of very good teams in the playoffs and go on a run. Alrighty, coming in at number 4, we've got ourselves the Detroit Lions. The Lions absolutely decimate the Denver Broncos, and they're a team who've had some ups and some downs, some lefts and some rights. They have been all over the place this year. Last few weeks, been a bit shaky, but they get a much-needed bounce-back win here this week. And if they can take that and carry that momentum into future games, that is going to go a long way for them. Have an opportunity to officially close up the division this week. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, you'd think they've closed it up by now, but they haven't. And, that being said, they're just a really solid team. They've had a couple of hiccups, but hopefully they can really officially claim it as theirs after next week, because they're starting to look real good. I know some people are talking about bouncing them in the wild card, but or bounce them in the in their game, but no, I've got trust that they'll get it together.
Yeah. I mean, Vikings are honestly another game that I think is an opportunity for them to really, like, build on it, because the Vikings are not exactly the best team right now, so. Yeah, I like what the Lions are doing. Alrighty, coming in at number 3, making their way back onto this list for the first time in a while, and jumping all the way up to number 3, we've got ourselves the Buffalo Bills. The Bills destroy the Dallas Cowboys 31-10 this week, coming off the back of their win over the Kansas City Chiefs in the previous week. They have really turned their season around in a big way these last 2 games. That bye clearly did them some good. Cook just had a spectacular game. He did great, and credit to Joe Brady. He talked about this week for making an in-game adjustment to say, hey, this is what we planned on doing, but what's going on right now is working, so why change it? One of the things that bugs me that coaches do all the darn time is they will switch away from the thing that is working to the game plan. Oh my word! I've seen teams lose many games because of incompetent decision making like that. So I want to give Joe Brady some credit. The Bills went from struggling to elite very quickly, and this is the right time of the year to do it. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, this is the right time to do it. This is the right time to get your act together and just go on a push, and that's what they're doing. They're going on a push. I'm liking what the Bills are doing, and I'm really proud of it. Josh Allen said, I think my crap is back, and I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, Bills looking dangerous, and I hate that they are. You know they're good when I'm over here hating my life. Alrighty, coming in at number 2, we've got ourselves the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens coming off of a win over the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday Night Football. Pretty comfortable, convincing win over a playoff team, or probable playoff team, I will say. I mean, the Ravens have officially clinched the playoff berth, and they are very likely to get the number 1 overall seed. They have been the best and most consistent team in the AFC despite many injury issues. Bruised, beaten, they do not care. They are marching their way through, onward, ahead, forward, and they are getting good results. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, they have nearly clinched up the AFC, and they're just the best team in the AFC. Just looking at Lamar and that defense, great defense. So I really think that they people doubt them this year. Maybe it's just another 14-2 Ravens, but no, I've got trust that they'll do it and they'll go far.
Absolutely. And like they're one of the few, really 2 teams in this league who's been truly consistent, and as chaotic as everything has been this year, that is this is a drum that I have been beating for a while now, and I will continue to beat it because it's almost been a theme for the NFL this year. They are consistent, and it will take you far. And finally, coming in at number 1, further hammering the point I just made home, the epitome of consistency, we've got ourselves the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners coming off of a comfortable win over the Arizona Cardinals. another just great performance, especially offensively. Put up 45 points, gave up 29, but when you're scoring all those points, you don't really care if your defense is that amazing, you know. The Niners continuing to win a lot of football games, are easily the favorites to lock up that number 1 seed, and well, that venture took a great leap forward. Both the Cowboys and Eagles falling this week. You know, we've talked about teams. Can't say consistent Eagles, Cowboys lose. The Niners just keep on winning. They're going to keep on winning. T-Bone, your thoughts?
I'll say it short and simple. They're real good. They're real good. And they'll go far.
I mean, that's something that I think everyone just kind of understands. There's a lot of teams I know everyone understands are good. The Niners are like very clearly, oh, they're the best team. They are. They're just so well built. They're so well coached. So well everything. Next year we'll see because they'll be in cap hell next year. But it ain't next year. It's this year, and this year's looking pretty good for them. Alrighty, that is going to round out our top 10. Coming in at number 10, we've got the Dolphins. Number 9, the Chiefs. Number 8, the Eagles. Number 7, the Broncos. Number 6, the Cowboys. Number 5, the Rams. Number 4, the Lions. Number 3, the Bills. Number 2, the Ravens. And number 1, the San Francisco 49ers. Please be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Feel free to drop your own top 10 or anything else you would like. We would love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.